Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. You joined me for episode 7 of our Road to Gold series and it's definitely hotting up in this race. Today's race wasn't the tidiest, but then how often do you get a tidy race at Monza, especially going into that first corner? There is a little bit of action between me and a BMW and an Aston Martin about midway through the race, so keep an eye out for that. We're starting in P11 in this race, as you can see on the screen, and looking at the safety rating, you can see we're getting ever closer to gold. Hopefully only a few more races to go. Let's flick over to the race then and see how we get on. Also, if you do like the content, please do consider hitting that subscribe button and giving us a thumbs up on the video.
Go, go, go.
Kicking off at the start of this race then, getting a decent start. Haven't really gained any positions at the moment, but we haven't lost any, so that's all that matters. McLaren behind does have a pretty good run, as you can see he's coming up the inside there. Just going up the inside of this Ferrari.
Clear left.
A little bit of contact with the McLaren there, but being nice and easy into this first corner.
Clear left.
Slight love tap on the Ferrari there, but nothing too serious.
Just ignore it. Yellow flag in sector 1.
Getting interrupted there. But yeah, at the first corner.
Spinned it. Sector 1 is clear. Okay, Luke. Decent start. We can build something from here.
At the first corner nice and cleanly then. Trying to stay in the draft of this McLaren up in front. You can see we've got two people up in front, looks like first and 8th with drive-through penalties, so that could be two positions we can gain there. McLaren in front just forgetting to brake, using the Ferrari as a brake instead. Covering off the Mustang. Settling into P11. However, everything is still pretty close at the moment. Everyone's on warmish tyres, so anything could happen. Let's just keep pace with this BMW then. Looks like he's trying to make a move up the inside of the McLaren, but not quite being successful there. McLaren and Ferrari pretty much door to door. Definitely going to be the sensible idea to stay behind. Don't want to end the race on the first lap. A little bit of understeer, but keeping it controlled. Mustang going up the inside. BMW going off and hitting the back of that Ferrari again. Seem to just love the back of this Ferrari. Getting the better run out of this corner though, going up to the outside. Can we beat him on the brakes? Yes we can. Thinking better of it, and he drops in behind. Getting a nice exit.
Lobo is leading the race.
Ferrari behind then filtering off into the pits before his drive-through penalty. It looks like the guy up in front has as well. And we've moved up into P8, so it's not too bad. We need to start at P11.
Okay, Luke, the next car is Santos.
Making sure we don't go deep coming into this first corner. Some spitting up loads of dust there, so someone must have dipped two wheels into the gravel. Flicking forward then, as you can see, we have gained on the guys in front. We were at about 2 seconds before. Now we're down to 1.4. However, the BMW behind has followed us. Diving up the inside here, so being careful. However, we do carry a bit much speed on the apex and nudge the back of him.
Okay, Luke.
Up the inside.
Bit of aero damage.
Now he did initially go ahead and then came back. So running him out wide, and he is trying to come back on. Getting a little nudge from the BMW, getting a nudge from the Aston Martin on the inside as well. Very messy couple of corners there. However, we do stay ahead. Aston Martin is very much in the slipstream, so we need to be very careful here. Doesn't look like he's going to make a move. Actually, completely wrong there. Going right at the inside, a little nudge on the way through. However, nice and tidy. BMW into the back of us, and then getting a bit squiggly. So the gap does open up behind. It's unfortunate for the safety rating that we do get that little nudge. However, for the sake of the race, just up to a second now. So trying to hang on the back of this Aston Martin. Nice and tight line through here on the power, nice and early. Let's see if we can hang onto the back of him and Was going to say try and close the gap a little, however it's just opening up to 0.8.
Focus on these lines. P9.
BMW behind has been overtaken, and we've got a Mustang right up close. A little bit slow going into that first corner, so I'm bunching the guys behind. As you can see, the gap in front opening up to 1.6. So feeling a lot of pressure from behind right now. Need to get a clear head, focus, and not let the pressure get to me. Let's see how we do. Nice and tidy through here then, hitting both those apexes. As you can see, the Mustang behind does get a little bit squirrely, and the gap immediately opening up to 1.5 seconds, holding up the others as well, so that does relieve the pressure from behind. 2 seconds up in front, and still the gap is opening up. We'll have to see if we can put some quick laps there. 2 seconds behind now. That BMW doing us a real favour and holding up those cars behind. Let's get our head down. We've got 9 minutes to go. No pit stop. Do have a little bit of damage on the front and on the right hand side of the car. Don't really know how that's going to affect our race, if at all, but we do seem to be losing time to the car in front, and the car behind is slightly gaining in. However, I don't know how much damage either of those cars is running, so hard to say really, but let's get our head down and see how we get on.
New fastest lap for Kevin, 151.07. Okay Luke, halfway home. Fuel looks good. The gap to Borough behind is now 1.5 seconds. You've just done a 153.51.
A little bit distracted from behind then, and running a little bit deep into this first corner, which does allow that BMW to close up a little bit. Gap just over 1 second now.
Yellow flag. We think Norris has binned it. That's half fuel. You've used half your fuel. Green flag, sector 1.
Potentially a crash up in front then, hitting the brake markers there. Just hitting that sausage curb a little bit, and the one on the exit. Not enough to unsettle the car though. As we can see, nice and tidy through there. Gap behind opening up to 1.5, opening up at that again, and relieving a little bit of pressure. We have actually gained a little bit to the car up in front. Well, we had just opening up to 4.1 now. I do like the Monza circuit. I don't know if you guys want to give your thoughts down below. I haven't really played too many simulators on the PC. I've played Assetto Corsa, Competizione, I have played Assetto Corsa, some mods, and I've played Le Mans Ultimate as well.
Sector 3 is clear, green flag.
Out of the sims that I have played, I do really consider Le Mans Ultimate to be probably one of the best in terms of just the feel with the drive. I did upgrade to the Moza R9 steering wheel as well. That obviously has helped. I do feel like this stuff with YouTube and sort of sim racing has helped me improve my sim racing game and sort of be more competitive overall. I have upgraded my Logitech pedals as well, so I'm using Logitech G29 pedals.
The car ahead is Santos.
With the True Brake V2 upgrade, and I think I've got about the 32 kilogram spring in it. I do also have the Leo Bodnar cable as well, so I don't need to run it through the wheelbase anymore. They're sort of a separate entity. Getting back into this race then, a lot of dust being thrown up in front. BMW still relatively close behind, 1 second. However, we are, or were, up on our quickest lap. Just losing a bit of time through that right-hander there though. Making a little bit up on the entrance to that corner, but losing it on the exit. Getting comfortable now. 68% energy left. 1.2 second gap behind, about 2 seconds up in front. Yellow middle sector,
E10 behind is now
not the best. Losing some time on that exit as well.
Okay, Luke, come on, stay focused. Apexes and exits, apexes and exits. 5 minutes remaining, 5 minutes left.
Tyre pressures are looking good. Sorry, tyre temperatures. Not quite all in the green though. I don't know if you guys have any tips on getting your tyre pressures up to temperature in Le Mans Ultimate. If you do, please stick them down below. I'd be happy to know. Some of the other guys I do watch on YouTube, all of their tyres will just be all sort of green, whereas mine do tend to sometimes stay in this bluey region, other than when, as you can see, they're braking and turning. So if you do have any advice on that, please do let me know. I've never really messed with the pressures too much. I don't know if that matters too much in Le Mans Ultimate, but open to any ideas. Lots of smoke being thrown up in front then. Looks like someone has gone off. Big lock-up. Who is that? The McLaren. So what was a sort of 4.5 second gap, I think, is now down to 2.7. Don't know if this McLaren up in front is now actually running any damage, so just keep an eye on that gap. Let's see how we go. I'm feeling a little bit of pressure from T Thea behind. However, not really close enough to be making a move anytime soon. So as long as we keep up this pace, keep him around that sort of gap, I think we should be okay. Loads more gravel thrown up. Not really sure who has been off there. Do have P6 and P7 very close to one another, about 0.2, 0.1 second gap between them. And would you look at that, down to 1.3 seconds up in front, 1.2 just as I say that. This McLaren might be running a little bit of damage. However, not getting the best exit. McLaren in front running wide, losing a lot of pace, gap coming down. BMW is following us through though, definitely in our slipstream behind. And look at that, having the draft from the McLaren there definitely helping. Can see we get a green final sector. Nice and late on the brakes. Hitting them sausage curbs nicely. Just enough not to unsettle the car. 0.8. Not sure if he's actually running any damage. Maybe I'll have to check on the replay after the race. Okay, a lot of sausage curb there. I just kind of follow the same route. A bit more dust being thrown up. Guys in front are definitely fighting, so maybe we could be in the potential for another position. Okay, nice bit of speed through there. Nice and stable out of here as well. McLaren in front taking quite a lot of curb on the exit.
Horst is now in the lead.
Close the gap down to about 1 second then, but don't seem to be making any more progress other than that. Maybe he was just a little bit out of sorts from his collision. Did put all 4 wheels over the white line there. I'm not sure if that's the most stable of routes, especially when applying power. Made it through though. Braking at the 50 metre board. Down to gear 2 to help the rotation. On the power nice and early, running out wide. Carry as much speed as possible.
1 more lap to go. Your lap time was 1:53.05. Alright Luke, that's good consistency, keep it up. Incident in sector 1, yellow flag.
Incident up in front then, and we've got someone in the gravel trap.
Green flag sector 1.
As you can see here from the pit crew there. Very close behind, very close up in front. So we do need to be careful here. We've only got 1 lap to go. We don't want to lose a position on the final lap. can stay in the slipstream of Santos. Hopefully we can fend off the BMW from behind. Nice and tidy through this corner, gaining in a little bit of time on the exit there to 1/10, so final lap could be the quickest of the race. However, going a little bit deep there. Not sure if we just followed the guy in front or if we had a bit of dirty air. Nice and tidy through here, the McLaren up in front sparking as they go through that corner. Shows just how low these GT3 cars are running to the ground. Also how hard is clearly pushing up in front as well. He does, in the same position as me, doesn't want to lose a position on the final lap. Ferrari up in front going very slow. Could this be an opportunity to make a move into the final corner? At 1.2 seconds, so probably not, but just being hopeful there. BMW closing right up on the brakes there. However, it does look like we're going to maintain P8. You can see how close it is between the top 8 there.
P8, that's it.
All within a couple of seconds of one another. Really don't want to hit that Ferrari there. Flicking through to the results then. Finishing in P8, gaining 3 positions. And as you can see there, the safety rating going up by 11.2%. Very, very close to gold. Hopefully in the next race we can move up. Hope you guys enjoyed that and you're along for this journey. Looks like we've just got one more race until we've completed this, and then I probably will be moving into entering a championship. So hope you enjoyed and see you in the next one.